Hey guys, it is the Acorn Avenger. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a good several months now since my last video. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Gaim Gaiden Gridon vs. Bravo miniseries, I guess you could call it. It's kind of going to be just a quick review. Initially I was going to do sort of a ranking video slash analysis of all the Gaidens, but the script for that was just taking way too long. I was like, it's been like 2 months now, so I thought it'd be best if we just did sort of a quick video now and then just saved something bigger for later on, because there are quite a few videos that I'm still working on, actually, including my channel's first short film, which I will give you guys some more information on in probably the next couple months or so. But yeah, today I thought I would just spend 10-15 minutes just talking about this special. Obviously, me being a really big fan of Gridon, I was probably gonna really love what they did with this no matter what. But to be honest, overall I have some really mixed feelings about this miniseries. So it takes place 5 years after Zack's Gaiden, so that makes it either in 2020 or 2021. I've lost count exactly of like the years in Gaim's continuity. And Jonochi owns Charmant, and I was really surprised by that. And we found out that Oren is not working there anymore, and I thought that was, you know, that's a pretty big shocker. They're not really friends anymore. And Jonochi's kind of more of a celebrity than, you know, just kind of the person that he used to be. And Oren does not like this at all. You get the sense that they've probably been split up for quite a while, but things kind of get a little convoluted when Takatora calls Oren and says Jonochi is a danger, and he has something to do with the resurgence of the Helheim fruit or something to that effect. And basically he asks Oren to kill him. You're thinking to yourself, is that something that Jonochi could really be capable of? I mean, sure, he's kind of an asshole now, but I think it's a pretty giant leap just to go from asshole to literally becoming what he hates and what took his best friend away from him. Honestly, I'm still not even sure if he and Hase were best friends or like in a relationship. Not that it really like matters too much. So Oren decides to pay Jonochi a visit before he accepts Takatora's offer, to kind of just validate Takatora's suspicions, I guess. And in short, it doesn't go very well. And this is easily the part I like least about the entire 2 episodes. So Oren asks him, he's come up with a recipe recently, and so Jonochi has his assistant bring out a cake made with the Helheim fruit, like little baby ones. Oren's like, I can't believe you were gonna serve this to people. And I was thinking the same thing. I was like, what the hell is going on here? I don't even know where they're still getting Helheim fruits, since they were all stripped away from Earth. But I mean, you know, plot has to happen, I guess. And so Oren, you know, he's really ashamed of him, so Oren leaves. And then another scene that I really do not like takes place. What is presumed to be Jonochi, but isn't, in the Gridon suit, attacks Oren, and Oren asks, you know, Jonochi, is that you? What's going on? And then he doesn't say anything and just jumps away. It's a really stupid 30-second scene, and I don't think it's even needed, because Oren had already decided to kill Jonochi anyway. So I think they were trying to give him even more reason to do so. I think he has more than enough motivation to go after Jonochi at this point, so trying to add more onto that just, 1, made for a stupid scene, and 2, just, you know, made the first episode feel a little bit clunky. So Oren sends Jonochi a message that he wrote out declaring that he is challenging him to a fight. And Jonochi shows up to where it says to, and with plans to try and talk him out of it. It is pretty fun to see Oren in his, you know, uniform and with a fucking rocket launcher just going crazy over the top, you know, because that's what a lot of people like about his character, is that he's really over the top and he's really just a little bit crazy. So it was nice to see a little bit more of that. And Oren transforms. I don't know how they got their belts back. I'm guessing this is set after the novel. Obviously, I haven't read it. I can't read Japanese, but I know Jonochi and Oren got their belts back in it. So I guess we're counting the novel as canon now. So like I was saying, Oren transforms and attacks Jonochi, but before he can, a crack opens up, vines come out, grab him. Somehow his Durian lock seed is sort of corrupted, and it turns his Durian lock seed and arms into the King Durian lock seed and arms. Overall, a pretty decent looking form. It's obviously just a repaint, which is kind of unfortunate. The only thing I would really change about it is I would put the cape on the back under the armor piece, just because it really looks slapped on, because it is. So it just looks a little bit silly when you're looking at it from the back. But not only does the lock seed get corrupted, I guess Oren's mind does somehow too, and it kind of just brainwashes him and just makes him even crazier. I guess it's really hard to explain what's going on. None of it really makes any sense, which is really unfortunate because, like I said, Oren already has the resolve and the justification to attack Jonochi, and they're trying to pile all these things on top of that. It's kind of just stuff that's unneeded, and the fact that Oren is like brainwashed and can't think clearly kind of makes it less of a tough choice for Jonochi to make to fight him. You know, it makes the whole thing less emotional and a little bit more, I guess, plot convenient. But anyway, so Oren attacks Jonochi and his assistant, who kind of follows him around everywhere. That's when Gridon reappears and fights off Bravo. And Jonochi, I really like his reaction to it. He's like, how is this possible? You know, that's me. I'm not in that suit. Who else could be in that suit? What the hell's going on here? And so his assistant says that they should just, you know, run away and not really worry about it. And Jonochi's like, no, I gotta go help out, so he does. And by the time Jonochi catches up to them, Oren has beaten Gridon. So Oren kind of runs off, and Jonochi's like, you know, who the hell are you? And so he de-transforms, I guess that's how you would say it. And we find out it's Takatora, even though I was pretty sure it already was. So Takatora explains that there's a new threat using the Helheim fruits again. Don't really know how, but again, we need plot to happen, so, you know, whatever. Takatora's like, I have a feeling I know who it is, and I'm pretty sure they're using you, so I had to set this whole fight up and get this person to come out. It's just really convoluted and kind of needlessly stupid. So Takatora gives what I'm assuming was already Jonochi's belt back to him, even though Jonochi wasn't like looking around for it or anything. Again, I really don't know what the hell is going on. So after considering it, Jonochi kind of builds up the courage again, and I actually really like that, because that was actually one of the really big reasons that I really like this character, is because it's realistic for him to be scared, and it's realistic for him to sort of weigh out his options before throwing himself into a fight. You know, every other rider would just pick up their belt and then run into fight like it's nothing, but obviously putting your life on the line is a really big thing to do, and I like the weight that it puts on Jonochi's mind, and he has to really evaluate before he just goes running into battle. So Jonochi rediscovers his courage and runs to confront Oren, who has conveniently not hurt anybody yet, despite having like 5 minutes to just kind of like, you know, go on a killing spree. And we get a disappointingly rushed first transformation for Jonochi into Gridon. Really, that's a good way to describe this entire special, is just rushed. So Gridon and Bravo fight it out for a little bit, and that's when Jonochi's assistant runs up to the fight, and not really sure why. I guess just, again, convenience. And then Takatora walks up to her. He's like, I know who you are, even though he doesn't really have any evidence for why he does, as far as I can understand. And she doesn't try to like hide this at all or deny anything. She just transforms and is ready to fight. I was hoping that she would kind of explain what her plan was just a little bit. As far as Sylphie's suit goes, I'm not really a very big fan of it. It looks pretty much just like it should be like a final form for Eden, And I was actually kind of hoping that that was what it was going to be. I was hoping when we saw the pictures of this suit, I was hoping that Eden's character was going to come back. Like, you were pretty sure that she died, but just kind of one of those slightly more ambiguous deaths. So I was hoping they would bring her character back, and and she would still be trying to kill all of the Kurishimas. And that would have been really interesting. It also would have just been a really nice way to sort of tie the Gaidens together a little bit more amongst themselves, which I think would have been really cool, especially if you just wanted to binge all of the Gaidens together. But, budget. So Takatora transforms with his Kachidoki Lockseed, and they fight it out a little bit. Then back to Jonochi versus Orin. Orin destroys Jonochi's Dongri Lockseed, and obviously things are looking pretty bad. It's a pretty one-sided fight so far, and that's when Sylphie shoots Helheim vines somehow, like, out of her hands, and it busts into the warehouse or whatever where Jonochi and Orin are fighting. One of the vines falls in front of Jonochi, and he tries to pick a fruit from it, and it doesn't turn into a Lockseed. And I'm guessing that's because this Sengoku driver that he is using is made by someone other than Yggdrasil, and just doesn't have all of the same functions that the original Sengoku driver had. I'm guessing that's also why it could be used by Takatora. Again, it would have been a lot better if they explained all this, just so we wouldn't have to really speculate on so much. And then we come to a scene that I thought was pretty simple, but I've never really heard anyone else interpret it the way that I have. So Jonochi decides he's just gonna eat it. This is literally just his last option, and it's all that he can do. So he goes to eat it, and his hand is stopped, and he looks up, and there he sees Hase, or at least who appears to be Hase. I was under the impression that it was very obvious that this was Kota. Like, I thought that was obvious, but everyone else thinks it's Hase's spirit. No offense to you guys, but that's pretty dumb. Especially considering that Hase doesn't say anything back to Jonochi, and he has the ability to transform the Helheim fruit into the Lychee Lockseed, which, by the way, is a beautiful Lockseed. I mean, it's actually gorgeous. I'm pretty sure DJ Sagara and Kota were the only ones able to create Lockseeds without the use of a Sengoku driver. I'm pretty sure, right? Now that I think about it, though, I guess it could have been DJ Sagara. I hadn't thought about that. DJ Sagara never really acknowledged Jonochi, though, and it would be a lot more in line with Kota's character to want to look after him. I guess it could be DJ Sagara, but again, pretty sure it's Kota. Definitely not a Hase ghost. So then he disappears, and Orin reemerges, and that's when Jonochi transforms into Gridon Lychee Arms, the final form I thought we were just never gonna get. I was hoping it wouldn't be a repaint of Dongri Arms, but I really love the colors used on it. The only thing I'm still kind of mixed on is the blue eyes. I'm not really sure how well that goes with everything, and the fact that the back half of his helmet still has the Dongri Arms colors for whatever reason. I'm not too big of a fan of that, but other than that, I really love this form, and I was so psyched getting to watch this in action, especially since Gridon didn't really win very many fights back in the day. So after having transformed, Jonochi has a pretty sizable advantage over Orin at this point. Now, I'm not sure if Lychee Arms is just more powerful than King Durian Arms, or if Orin being sort of mind-controlled or whatever makes him not really as good of a fighter. That's kind of the impression that I got. Like, I feel like if Orin wasn't being mind-controlled or whatever, that he probably would have been able to win the fight just because he is a more experienced fighter and everything. So Jonochi beats Orin in a finishing attack that I actually think is really cool. Essentially, he throws his sword and then beats it into Orin with his hammer, which is, like I said, pretty cool. And then as this is going on, Takatora beats Sylphie, and she kind of says something along the lines of, like, this isn't over yet, which, you know, maybe means another Gaim Gaiden miniseries. I sure hope so. I'd like to see one for Gaim and Ryugen, maybe. One complaint I really have about this is that I really think after beating Orin that Jonochi should have gone over and helped Takatora beat Sylphie. Not that he really needed it. Sylphie kind of is actually a pretty terrible fighter. She doesn't stand a chance against Takatora at all. I don't know why they didn't just have her be a better fighter, and that would make for a much more interesting fight, because Takatora defeats her without breaking a sweat. So I really would have liked to see Jonochi and Takatora fight together, but Sylphie doesn't really like explode or die or anything. She just kind of fades away, which I thought was really odd. You know, it kind of makes you think that she's not really dead. Maybe it was just some sort of projection, you know, clone, whatever. I am interested to see if that goes anywhere. Honestly, I don't think it will, but, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. And so then we get a really great scene that is kind of the reverse of the last scene in episode 25 of Gaim, where Orin is carrying Jonochi on his back. Whereas here, Jonochi is struggling to carry Orin on his back, and it's pretty good. It's a really good mix of like funny and like heartwarming at the same time. It's really nice to see. So Jonochi says he wants to restart his training so that he can really get it right this time, and I think that was a really good direction to go for these characters. And to finish it off, we have one of my favorite Kamen Rider songs of all time, like an instant classic for me. The song "You Are the Hero" was just the perfect theme song for Jonochi. Again, it's something I thought he would never get. So I love it so much. I was really just geeking out. I know I've been really critical of this entire special, but you know, the first time watching this, I was really just geeking out the whole time, because I was just shocked that we were getting this, even though both episodes only amount to about 25 minutes, a little bit less, which is really disappointing. I still greatly enjoyed what we got. Is it the best of the Gaidens? No. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I do plan on doing like a ranking video for the Gaidens later on, so look forward to that. But yeah, honestly, my overall impressions for this mini-series were really mixed. I don't think they handled a lot of things as well as they could have. They did a lot of things right, but I think they really dropped the ball on some things too. It was just way too convoluted for its really short runtime. I think they either needed to simplify the plot or extend the runtime to just explain it all better, and I think that would have drastically improved this whole thing. But obviously, being the ginormous fan of Gridon that I am, I really loved this. I'd be lying if I said it was everything that I was hoping for, you know, that I've been waiting years for. But I'm just so grateful that it, you know, exists. So it's just kind of something to have a little bit of fun with, not take too seriously, even though I would prefer it be a little bit more serious and a little bit better executed. This ended up being longer than I thought it was going to be. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. You know, is this your favorite Gaiden? Is this your least favorite Gaiden? Did you love this? Was it the worst thing you've ever seen? I love to talk with you guys, so don't be shy. And I think that pretty much wraps up this video. Like I said, I have several other videos and a short film in the works. I've been pretty busy between all that and work for these last several months, so I'm really excited to show you guys what I've been working on, so make sure to stay tuned for all that. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so that you can know when I post all of those videos, and I will see you guys at the next video.